Although that may seem harsh, here's a fact that most women discover to be appealing. 95.7% of women find it attractive, maybe audacious or even contentious, but it is a fact that many males also hesitant to acknowledge that it's not anything you'll learn via films, television series, or even from a buddy guidance on the true factor that makes men. Logic is just one aspect of attractiveness. Or logic, if you have ever turned to Stoic philosophy, you'll realize it's not about having fun or looking for why kind men are frequently ignored continuous endorsement. It's about something much stronger. Stay with me, and soon you'll realize what really sets the ordinary man as opposed to those that women find entirely unstoppable. Hey, I'm James, and I'm here to assist you in cultivating a Stoic attitude to master your interactions with women and take responsibility for your dating life. If hit it when you're ready to level up. Subscribe button. Nowadays, many guys are trained from an early age, must adhere to a basic formula in order to win a. It is something you have in a woman's heart. I've heard "be kind" innumerable times. Be ready at all times to listen to her. Issues are resolved, and everything will come together in the end. A good, trustworthy and kind man need to get the "that's the narrative society" girl tells us. But the brutal reality is the pleasant person is merely a portion of the narrative, often gets ignored, or worse, trapped. What offers the reason for being in the buddy zone? Does this occur? The straightforward but agonizing response is that males who are attractive to women aren't. Yes, always looking for their approval. They will value his respect and compassion, his commitment, yet these attributes alone don't really arouse desire or passion. Take a time to consider why those men who seem to work the least hard, the people who don't pursue, tend to get the most attention. What is that others don't allow them to have? Examine this using a simple metaphor. Both the lion and the meerkat are similar to the man who always tries to please. He is the one who is always on guard and prepared to resolve any issue. He's considerate, he listens, and prioritizes the needs of others before his own sounds. Fantastic. However, the catch is the mere. Although cats don't arouse desire, they may regard it as kind, maybe even adorable, yet he does not provoke it, hence he is not irresistible. Strong emotional reaction that women are drawn. Let's now discuss the lion he's. On the contrary, he is bold and self-assured, and feels without needing permission, confirmed that he isn't always accessible, and that is the reason he is so fascinating, has a strong magnetic field. It entices guys to seek what ladies want. The lion represents what they are unable to have. He doesn't need to deal with such mystery and lure, want attention as it comes naturally to women that are attracted to him, not only appreciate they are attracted to the lion by instinct, in a manner that defies comprehension. The meerkat is reliable, secure, and cozy, yet the lion is thrilling, convincing, and logic isn't what makes an attraction attractive. Or logic, it comes down to that visceral level. Emotional reaction to the powerful. The lion exudes manly vitality from the enthusiasm that inspires self-assurance, respect, and intense longing. So why not? The kind man evokes the same feelings impact. The solution is found in what women sincere in their emotional search. They're searching for comfort or safety, for ferocity, desire, and a bond that extends beyond the surface of the on the surface. The meerkat may seem trustworthy, but he doesn't challenge and isn't intriguing or motivate him. Predictable. And while predictability can seem reassuring, but it's not quite exciting, here is when Stoicism comes into play. Significant part in comprehending the lions, the Stoic philosophy teaches us about allure. about accepting who we really are, realizing our value, and leading a purposeful life free from the influence of outside. The goal of validation is to have the self-assurance to uphold your principles, maintaining one's fortitude in the face of difficulties, and not depending on other people to define your value like the lion does. He has faith in this Stoic attitude, and he is aware of his mission and actions. Give up seeking approval. Avoid caving down to other people's expectations. Although he welcomes women into his realm, doesn't need their approval to feel. Finish. That self-confidence based on a greater comprehension of oneself is amazingly appealing right now. If you're considering, can I change if I identify with the meerkat? Can I become a lion? The answer is unquestionably yes, but not everything will happen right away. An excursion that necessitates self-awareness, dedication, and a radical change in perspective that you must accept who you are, improve yourself, and gain knowledge. To live a purposeful life, one must taking charge of your life and developing your inner fortitude and seeming as the greatest possible version of oneself, similar to the lion doesn't seek, says the Stoic philosopher, out consent, as he is already aware of his worth, and the moment you begin to live off the same location of purpose and conviction, you'll discover that you no longer need to seek attention for anything, love or adoration. It will eventually you organically, because you will naturally embody the magnetic force that is inaccessible to women if you're prepared to quit, resist. Looking for acceptance and begin accepting your inner strength will remain with me. We'll go more into the adventure of change, where you'll discover how to take control of your own lion-like strength. All right. Well, let's get down to business At this point, the first phase of this adventure is most likely the most important, and it's something that many guys fail to notice. Seeking acceptance. I realize it sounds straightforward, but let's examine why it's so. It's far more difficult than you may imagine. How often have you found yourself in this situation, doing things for other people, particularly ladies? You go out solely to get their approval, of your manner, to be the kind person to win others over, to solve issues, and be that person who's always there when they need anything. You question if I'm giving enough. Sufficient if I demonstrate my concern for them. Afterward, they will see my worth. But this is the stark reality of what, for someone else, things don't make you. In actuality, it's the antithesis of value. A man's value is not derived from what he does, it stem from his current self that may be difficult to accept, but I can assure you that the truth will prevail. You can check whether you're continuously pursuing approval via your behavior. You're entrusting your value to the of others, which is a risky game to play. Is similar to attempting to develop your foundation on sand. It will constantly change. They make you feel unsteady, and this is when Stoicism is useful. Play one of the fundamental Stoic lessons. Philosophy is the belief that one should live in conformity to your actual self, accepting your value without having to external confirmation, or alternatively, a Stoic people are aware that their worth isn't determined by their service to others or way other people see them, which is determined by the kind of person they are by developing inner strength. A Stoic gains integrity and knowledge, rock solid regardless of the views, or this is precisely what other people's approval puts the Stoic man in. In addition, once you quit seeking permission, you give up existence to satisfy the demands of you, cease evaluating yourself against others, according to whether a person is impressed by your behavior or not. Instead, you begin to live a genuine life. Being aware that you don't have to demonstrate anything this strong, this is the moment. The reason the magic occurs is because when you accept your imperfections and talents, flaws, and you all grow more appealing in the eyes of people around you, about the most alluring individuals you are aware of. Are they the ones that are always making an effort? To satisfy everyone's number is the one that is self-assured. They manage to strike a mix between assurance and modesty. They don't need others to confirm that they are there. They have already completed the job in-house. Here is what. This is what makes them stand out in a crowd. What makes them captivating? Please take a minute and consider your own. How frequently do you discover yourself in life? Looking for confirmation, whether it comes from females. How much of your friends or even relatives are you? The want to be is what motivates acts. Considered deserving. The moment has come to end that cycle. You are no longer required to get permission. You don't have to be the man all the time, searching for indications that you're doing well sufficient, as this is what you are, sufficient as you are. And this change in perspective, this comprehension of your innate worth that will begin to, the more you pause, the more you alter everything. Seeking acceptance, the more you'll naturally draw the appropriate individuals into the proper ladies will be in your life, not because of anything you've done, self-assurance to get their approval, but because you've accepted who you really are. So let's do this. Jointly begin by establishing a conscious today's endeavor to give up seeking approval. Accept your whole self, flaws and all. Begin to live a confident life, being aware that your value originates from within, not from the outside and in. By doing this, you'll start to change, rather than simply how you engage with other people, but also your self-perception. The more you practice this Stoic attitude, the more you start to experience an unwavering belief in your own value. You must demonstrate your worth. To everyone, you'll just be yourself. Unrepentant self, and at that point, you'll begin to recognize your inner strength. Quickly let me know if you're enjoying this. When it's really getting to you, I want to listen to you. Please leave a remark below and tell me about the most significant difference. You believe you may depart from an enticing lion who is kind to the ear. I'm eager to see what remains. For you, and I'll see to it that reply to as many of you as possible, in addition to your remark, will facilitate connections for others. With the video, so watch out for hesitant. Let's have a discussion. Your ideas. Okay, let's dig into one of the strongest qualities that women and, to be honest, everyone finds unstoppable assurance. But I'm not discussing that flimsy glance at me kind of self-assurance that is just for display. I refer to the genuine, deep-seated confidence that originates inside, the kind of assurance that exudes not because, although you're attempting to prove something, because you already know who you are. I would want to know whether you have ever met somebody just radiates confidence without uttering a word. It's almost as if their energy does not compel attention, must say how wonderful they are, because their deeds speak for themselves, and you may not even understand why. You're attracted to them, but that's the kind of assurance I'm referring to. This genuine assurance doesn't come from putting up a front till you succeed or acting like you're someone you're not. This self-assurance has a basis of real accomplishments, development, and it's not in line with your basic beliefs, not about bragging, but rather about understanding you're valuable and independent of others. Confirm when you consider it. Confidence isn't merely about the way you show yourself to other people. It all comes down to how you present yourself. Are you happy with who you are? Are you awake in the morning when you wake up, pleased with the guy you're growing into, irrespective of whether other people observe or not, because genuine confidence is found there. Begins, and here is when being stoic may really alter the game for you. Embody. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is that, individually, we can only control the things that we can, behaviors, ideas, and reactions to the. This indicates that the world around us is real. Self-assurance is not derived from other sources. Sources that originate inside it originates from a thorough comprehension of your personal values and the things you do. A Stoic guy does not depend on them to live by. Need other people's approval to feel happy about himself. He doesn't need continuous applause or admiration for his confidence from being aware of what he's doing. Feels like he's living in the conformity to his principles, which provides. He has a subtle strength that isn't obvious, yet it's unbreakable to construct this kind of, you need to have faith in the word. And I'm not only referring to striking the gym or putting forth more effort at work. Even if such items are helpful, I'm discussing the need of improving oneself discover your interests and pursue them every day. Objectives to acquire new knowledge, whether it's enhancing your ability to communicate, improving at a pastime you like, or delving deeply into the world's knowledge. You see, everything piles up around you. You can't pretend to be confident or just switch on. It's something you get by means of your acts. It's the outcome of the diligence you work hard for what you want in life. Invest in improving both yourself and the understanding about your true self. Are guys who are self-aware and following their convictions without apology possess a magnetic energy, which is an energy that attracts individuals without them even attempting to consider a person you know who has actual assurance that they may not be the most noisy or the friendliest. However, they possess this evident presence, as if they must demonstrate anything to everyone, just because they have a distinct understanding of their goal, and all they do is in line with that goal, which is the kind of self-assurance that attracts. How do you acquire ladies in particular? Although it's simple there, it's not simple. Begin by improving yourself, not for what do you desire for yourself and no one else. What are the things that come out of life that give you a sense of life that sparks defining limits? Something inside you seeks those items tenaciously and, in the manner of the Stoics, educate us to accept the concept with ease. That the only one who defines your value increases as you grow as a person. Your confidence will increase this is the secret, as you develop your inner fortitude. You'll draw the proper people to you organically. This level of certainty isn't anything from which you might pretend it originates, leading a life filled with passion, purpose, and individual integrity. Therefore, start improving yourself. Develop your abilities, establish your objectives, and begin living a life that is really you. The reason you are is because when you do, when the true magic occurs, let's get started. Anything that, to be honest, many guys battle, but is a game changer when regarding the location of the attraction bounds, and I now understand what your boundaries are probably not that. Sometimes it's simply about saying no. Yes, but it's far more complicated than that. Take a moment to consider the meerkat. His nature's meerkat is continuously stating that he is always accessible, vigilant, and always attempting to satisfy everyone around him. Believes that the meerkat, that if he just consents to everything, he prioritizes the needs of others before his own. He will somehow increase in value or additional appealing, but the reality is that doesn't operate in that manner. The meerkat isn't really noticeable, pleasant, maybe even beneficial, yet he lacks something strong that attracts people's self-respect. Let's now discuss in contrast to the meerkat, the lion isn't. He doesn't have to say no, since he is frightened to. Yes to everything that is presented to him, only to feel valued or appreciated. He is well aware of his life's goals, and he is unambiguous about his standards. For himself and others in his vicinity, there is no apology from the lion for his values, and he doesn't compromise them at all. To maintain someone's interest, he understands that failing to respect oneself, nobody else will. And this is the problem. Setting limits makes you more than merely preserving your energy or time. You're demonstrating your values to the world. You value yourself enough to claim that I don't have to do anything, for I know what I must feel in order to satisfy you. It feels nice to be united and recognized with my own principles, which is very, in general. Gorgeous women are attracted to such self-respect. It's magnetic, says, I understand my value and I won't accept anything less. But I understand this isn't always simple, and sometimes we worry that we'll miss out on something if we say no, or worse, we'll lose someone's love or interest. And that's where Stoicism's strength lies. In the Stoics tell us that we are powerless over other people's responses, but we can regulate our reaction to them. When you follow this guideline, it's like a superpower that you start to understand that the desire to win over everyone, your peace of mind, is an illusion. Your perception of your own value and your integrity, these things are far more precious than any short-lived approbation, as we discover in Stoic philosophy that the source of genuine freedom is not being governed by outside forces. It's not. It's about avoiding pain, accepting the difficulty of standing steadfast in your convictions despite everything other people consider. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic thinker, he didn't bend or compromise his morals to the whims of everyone in his vicinity. By setting a good example, he demanded respect, established limits, and out of self-respect, rather than conceit and lucidity of goal, when you begin establishing limits, like the lion, you start to accept the Stoic freedom you have discovered, that your energy, your time, and your self-respect is vital, but you must accept anything that says no. Isn't about rejecting or being chilly. It's important to stand by your convictions, folks, and without compromising your own principles for brief authorization. This isn't about being impolite or contemptuous. Is about possessing the self-assurance and inner ability to decide what is in line with your principles and what it's not. About claiming that I have no time for activities that don't support my development or mission or my tranquility. The more you execute this, additionally, you'll discover that folks will really appreciate you more for putting boundaries. Are a kind of self-love, isn't about erecting barriers. The goal is to make room for what's really important, and when you demonstrate that you respect yourself, and others will follow suit. Start to follow suit. Here is where the strength of a lion is not what gives him power by himself, but in his capacity to safeguard his principles and uphold his integrity without, regardless of what the world throws at. So, how does this seem in conclusion? In everyday life, it may be declining a demand that isn't consistent with your objectives. It may include choosing not to accept conduct that lacks respect your energy or time, but yet keep in mind that establishing limits is not only for self-defense, it's about making room for what really important aspects of your life as you begin. Doing this will result in a change. You will no longer pursue approval and begin living with the self-respect that appeals to people to you in a profound and last. As long as the lion, you'll share a home with strength, purpose, and a steadfast sense of who you are without apology or compromise, and that's what makes you my buddy. The lion is very enticing as it glides with his body language, posture, and attitude, exudes self-assurance in the face of confronts self-worth head-on, that originates from the inner power. It's what appeals to women in a manner that women, meerkat, will never hear the truth. Don't be fooled by what you do for them. Fall for what you stand for. They're looking for a guy who ignites sparks and challenges passion. They'd rather have a lion than a meerkat. Making that guy begins with a decision. Make a commitment to yourself and quit looking for approval. Concentrate on your objectives and develop your self-assurance and establish your goals. Lion doesn't have to establish his value, is aware of his identity. Additionally, that assurance is magnetic, so are you prepared to give up being the meerkat? Accept the power of the lion. If this is, it's your time to get up Act and demonstrate your power to the world. Be the commander and the lion in your hands. Be the one who encourages difficulties and draws in ladies, and everyone will be attracted to your energy if this video was useful to you. Remember to press the like and subscribe buttons. Bell notice. See you soon. 1.